Yo, what's up? Good morning. What's up, Derek? Okay, so yesterday we started to dabble with the new UI library for Unity, the UI toolkit. That wasn't going to be the main focus. We're not at the UI stage yet, but we're gonna start developing entity behavior, or I'm talking about monsters and stuff like that, give them agency, and I want to be able to easily see what's going on in game. So we developed this. It's very simple right now, but notification system. So as soon as an entity changes action, so goes from let's just change this one first. So when the blob starts moving, we get this notification, and the same goes for the player, whatever we do. It's very rudimentary right now, and it's probably going to be used for something in game later on, but more with icons and stuff like that. But we can see exactly what's going on now. And we're going to continue working on this notification system in parallel with implementing the agency and stuff for blobs. So let's take a quick look. So right now we have an entity notification bubble. We have a entity notification pool. So the pool is currently just on startup. It searches the scene, gets all the animate entity and playable entity, and yeah, listens to events and sends notifications. Very basic. We're gonna extend this a little bit today because I don't just want the so right now we're just listening to actions. I actually want to like listen to a lot of different components. It's going to be action handlers, actions, attribute handlers, bodies, whatever. So today I think we're going to start focusing on, or we're going to change it. We're going to add a interface, and everything that can send an event should implement this interface. I think that's how we want to do it. That's how we're going to do it right now, at least. So we're going to make the action handlers, or actually the actions, implement it and be able to send. Or so instead of searching for specific components like playable entity and animate entity here on startup, we look for components that implement this interface. But the problem with doing this at startup is that if we add a new creature mid-game, this one won't get notified, so we're gonna have to extend it eventually. And also, we want to... Where do we have it here? We have some visuals improvements we eventually want to make. So, readability, we want to... Like when I'm talking about this notification system that I'm going to use heavily during development, we're also gonna repurpose it later to actually be the in-game UI as well. But instead of like action move started or attribute hunger low, we might spawn some icons and stuff like that. So we're gonna implement eventually, probably not today, some way for these notifications to sort themselves, so the latest one should always appear in front, and best case scenario we can also do some 2D physics stuff such that these notifications don't occlude each other. We'll see what we do first. Eventually. So I just want to see if I recall correctly, you can do is it possible to do interfaces? I'm pretty sure, but it's been a while. So implement interface notification sender. I'm pretty sure I want to use this system later on for like internal stuff as well. But we will start to implement it just for this system. And we're gonna do make action handler and make attribute handler. We can start with these two. Okay. So I guess, yeah, we want to avoid this. I think we could go the other way around. So instead of this one polling iNotification senders, we can actually have the iNotification senders push to this one. Then we're gonna have to convert this one into a singleton. I'm not too sure I want to do that. But maybe. That would also help with your Hoto, yeah, you should be careful using link, but if it's a one-time thing, it should be okay. Yeah, exactly. Just don't use it in update, for instance, or avoid using it in update. Okay, so two approaches, either search or push. If we go with the push, we're going to introduce an additional singleton, and I feel like we're gonna get this notification system is going to corrupt is not the correct term, but it's going to infiltrate a lot of the different other classes. Your Hoto, yeah, that's what I've heard as well. I think the same goes for that. Be careful when you use it, that's all. Don't use it for everything. And what's up, Marcus? I don't remember if I said hey, but nothing wrong with saying it twice. Your Hoto, service locator is better. So service locator, fancy word. I guess that's pretty much what we're doing now, right? So at startup we have a search and we find the quote-unquote services. It's pros and cons. It's pros and cons. So in this case, we have like, it's going to be a dynamic thing. And what I mean by that is that during the gameplay loop or the game running, we're gonna see new components joining and disappearing. So one case is we have a new monster that spawns and visits the garden. That monster is gonna send notifications, right? So what you could do then is you mark that one as, so whatever component handles the creature spawning, you mark that one as a notification creator or entity or something. And at the beginning of entity notification pool, you find all of those and you listen to those, right? Yorhoto, we have a pool here, right here. But the creatures will be, we won't have a creature or monster pool. That might actually be it. Yorhoto, you don't use the native pool from Unity. Actually, I've never used it. Is it new? What is the gain by using this instead? Stack-like collection. Good to know, you learn something new every day. The only problem is that you will depend on Unity if it's nothing special, just native. Okay. Okay, I'm not ready to jump into the singleton, so we're gonna wait with the singleton. We're gonna ask for... is that... I wonder. Package dependency, abstraction. Less overhead on an array. Yeah, it might be too simple right now, but maybe. Good to know about. Okay, so what I think we're gonna do is, yeah, we're gonna continue with the interface implementation. We're gonna make action handler implement it. I'm still not sure. Playable entity, animate entity. Yes, I think we're gonna make the entities be notification handlers. Okay, I think this is how we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna have iNotification handler. You wrote the good enough for this use case, sounds like technical debt. Maybe, or maybe not. I think entity is going to be we might split it up eventually, but I think for now our entities are going to be the notification handler. Make dynamic entity. So we have entities that are notification handlers, i.e. they have subsystems that work with notifications. We're gonna have a non-singleton entity notification pool. I guess we're gonna rename it to entity notification bubble pool eventually, because this one is just gonna handle the UI stuff. So on startup here, we're gonna search for notification handlers, or we're gonna search for entities, dynamic entities, that is. The problem being, however, that we're gonna have to search for dynamic entities, playable entities. No. We're just gonna search for dynamic entities. I guess dynamic, what do we have? Dynamic entity, animate entity, playable entity. We want to catch all of those, unfortunately. We can't search for notification handlers. It's an interface. Did you think of a simple observer? I think that's what we have right now, isn't it? where we subscribe here. So that's exactly what we have now. We're gonna have to complicate it a bit. So like this is the very, very beginning of the actual brain of entities. It's just that we want an additional class outside of that that listens to it and displays it, mostly during testing in this case, I would say. Actually not, no. So what we're getting at is, okay, I think we're going to introduce one additional class. We're going to make a new task for it, but it's going to be entity brain, basically. The problem is that I want to use that's not entirely true, though. Entity works so well in its current implementation and with subclasses and so on. The problem being is the search for it is going to be a little bit ugly. Yo, what's up, Skafer? Okay. Okay, I just want to introduce a component that is basically gonna work as the brain. And that's gonna be our notification handler for each entity that has a brain. Thinking agency, agent, brain. Don't like none of those. Agent is pretty good, actually. But in some ways, this pretty much replaces a few of 1 second though. Attribute handler get component. Okay, here we can use that. Okay, that's great. This one is old. Okay, so I think we're gonna introduce agent component right now. It's gonna be our controller for the agency stuff. It's gonna handle the communication between all of our subsystems on our agents. Great news, Schaefer. Nice. Okay, let's do it like this. Mono behavior. Can we just call it agent without any names? Yeah. We can do it like this as well. Yeah, we're gonna get there. And then we're also gonna have there is a child of constraint for an object and the same for a bone. The first one doesn't get saved into an animation, but the second does. So was this a problem like during export? I hate, like, I'm actually on the lookout for, like, I would love to do my rigging and animation in Unity, because the path between external software and Unity when it comes to animation and rigging, it's just too much of a headache. I guess it's similar in Godot. Nobody knows, Schaefer. Nobody knows. Okay, so we have the agent, and then we have a set of agent systems. Our notification handler is gonna listen to agents. Instead of so it's gonna be an entity or agent notification bubble. We're gonna do some renaming here later on. Yeah. Okay, something like this. Okay, let's see if we can do some renaming here. The GLTF, I don't even know what that is. Agent, agent, agent. And then we have UI user interface toolkit. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I mean, it took a while, but eventually I figured out getting the exports working-ish. But it feels like every time I do a new animation or something new, you have this problem during import and export. I don't know. Sometimes it's the scales, sometimes it's something else. Okay, I'm still, like, I feel like this is probably the way to go. Still a little bit. We're probably gonna move some of the logic from entities to agent and just let entity be the description of the actual physical object, if you know what I mean. Let's implement this with action handler real quick and see if it works. I just want to see, we have the... Okay, we have an error. Why though? Oh yeah. Renaming it, we need to re-add the reference. And we're talking about this one. But yeah, I would like to have an auto re-export detection so I can just control S in Blender. When I tab out to go, it would re-export the model from Blender. Yeah. I mean, Unity has a pretty good Blender file parsing system, but I haven't dared to 100% rely on it. And it's also the fact that, like, my Blender files, they have a lot of stuff in them that aren't really directly exportable to Unity, so yeah. Hirohoto, is that the question aimed at Schafer or not? Okay, so what I want to do now is we're going to open up Action Handler. And we're going to make Action Handler into, or implement, .agent system. Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. It's a good idea on paper, but it just feels like there's too many parameters you want to have control over, you know? And bloat you want to get rid of. Okay. So. We can start by doing this. Let's see. So we want to use a language for the agent systems that are pretty generic. But is that going to be possible? Okay, initially, let's just implement this as the notification system we need right now. So, agent system, we're gonna start by doing iAgent system. We're gonna implement a method that is or I guess we want it as a pool. I guess we would like action to send messages as well. I think we're just gonna start by doing agent system. We're gonna have a Unity event string. Or we could just name it on message. And then we have a and let's see here. On process change, let's start by doing action.on. We probably want to listen to all of these eventually. But. Convert action date to string. Actually, it's not on string. What I want is agent notification. Yes, this one. We should probably move this one. This one is also gonna grow eventually. Right now we have it as a string only. But I think we're gonna rename this one to clear text, and we're gonna move it down. This is only gonna be used for debugging and UI stuff eventually. We're gonna have duration as well, I think, but and then I think I want to replace position with game object, I think, or agent. Oops. There we go. Clear text. Yeah, let's put that as a constructed there. And let's escape for about the baked actions naming. I've gone and read about Python scripting and thought, ooh, I mean, I did a very short Blender add-on a while back, and I was actually pleasantly surprised how everything works behind the scenes in Blender. The documentation was okay, but the systems behind the scene was pretty damn amazing. Okay, so now we have this one. We're gonna change this soon, so let's just do out of sight, out of mind. Same for this one. Do we have anything else? This is actually a UI, I would say. Let's wait with the namespace here and do, oops. So it's gonna look like this. Agent notification. We have agent duration. And clear text for now. Okay, so the idea is that yeah, we just have an on message for now, and then we do in our action handler, we listen on process change, convert action state to, we're going to convert so here we're going to change this one to agent notification, and on okay, there we go. So in action handler, let's start there. We're not gonna have it like this, but we're gonna have private void spawn agent notification, maybe. For this one, it's gonna be action here. And we're gonna handle it soon. So on process change for an action, add listener spawn action notification. And then we have the agent notification. And here I want to do new agent notification. Go with this first. On notification. Okay, something like this. And then we invoke. And the notification itself right now is just gonna be... Oh, fuck, we don't have the agent here. That's true. Oh. Yeah, I think... But we definitely want to package it at this point, not later. Because in here we have... This is where I want to go from action to an actual agent event, you know? Agent event is probably better, actually. So I think we're gonna do this. Agent notification. Agent event. And I do want agent here. But that's gonna be filled out after the fact. That's the worst part about it, I guess. So maybe. We're gonna have agent event. Or we do it like this. Agent is going to be everything with some sort of agency. So think of it like the brain for the creatures, basically. This is going to be our messaging system between our subsystems, or our creature subsystems. It's exactly what it is. Agent message. Here we're gonna have duration and clear text. We're gonna go with clear text for now. This one is gonna grow eventually. Here we're gonna have agent, and it's gonna be agent message. Yeah, let's have a constructor like that, but then we're also gonna have a constructor like agent message, like this. So let's see here. Agent system on notification, but this one is gonna be agent message on agent message. Then we have action handler. So this one only knows about, it's an AI agent system. So it spawns agent messages, not notifications. So it has been a little bit back and forth, but I think we finally have it. Spawn agent message from action on agent message. Hey, what's up, Matic? Unfortunately, we don't have a font command. What do you want to know? Skaper. Sometimes I think I overcomplicate things and then I go to your stream. Yeah. A lot of the times I do overcomplicate stuff. I don't think this is one of those points. Font for the IDE. I don't think I do much styling for my IDE. Where do we have... Is it preferences? Is it settings? Oh, I have not seen that one, Scaper. I can look it up soon. Let's see if we can answer this one. There you have it. Right. Okay, so spawn agent message. And here we want agent message. Message is equal to, yeah, we're gonna have 2 hard-coded default. And action get description, no. This is where I want to... I guess we're gonna overcomplicate things a tiny bit here. But it's gonna be, what did we go with? Agent action notification bubble. Here, we're just gonna start with this one. There we go. Agent message, the type to string, and then the state of it, and then we invoke here. Spawn agent message. Nice. Then we can jump to agent. We get all the agent systems here. This one... yeah, indeed it is, Scafer. Consolas. It's very pretty. So this one, AI agent systems, we're not going to add more or remove agents after instantiation. So this one is okay. I think we want to put this one at the start. And then we want to have public Unity event agent notification on notification get. Beautiful. So then we have agent systems, and then we want to do for each agent system add listener handle agent message. We create a agent notification with this, and then we invoke it. Agent notification, I don't know about this one just yet. But there we have it. So we're gonna add an agent to our creature. But then we have a creature. Agent is probably gonna replace creature eventually. But we do it like this for now. Creature spawner, generate instance, generate a lot of temporary here, but I just want to make things work. First of all, animate entity. Ouch. Okay, so we add that one. Great. Then we should be able to jump to our agent notification pool. And let's see what we have here. We start the pool. We start the instantiate. And then we remove this one. And we search for agents or game.agent. I need to fix this. wonder if I just want to do... Does it? What if we do... like this. I don't think we need to do this or this anymore. To list we want to keep, and then we do on notification, add listener, display agent notification. And yep. And okay, this is a nice thing. I'm wondering if, yeah, we get the renderer. And we create the position like this. So we have changed a little here. I wonder if we just want to do on display agent notification. Let's just do... Let's just do it like this. And we're gonna do this somewhere else. Display. Okay, great. And then we have finally the agent notification bubble. Late update, display coroutine. Current notification. I think we can wait with this one. So we're gonna do... let's have this here for now. Current notification I want to set here. Game objects set active. Oh yeah. 1 sec, we need that one here. Current notification set active, and then in display coroutine. Position. Wait for second, duration. Don't we have duration here? Yeah, of course. Notification dot message dot duration. Now we have message dot clear text here. I think that's how we want to do it. Okay, do we have any errors? The problem with the current implementation is that our playable character is not going to be, or it isn't an agent, and it's never going to be an agent. But I want to display those messages as well. Agent instance. To simplify stuff right now, I'm thinking of doing... Okay, agent is actually pretty passive for now, so we're just gonna add an agent instance here for now. Okay, let's see what we have if we play this one. We don't have any notifications for that one. Do we have it for our blob? No, we don't. Because notification pool. Okay, what do we have here? All of that looks good, but I think we didn't, or I didn't. We invoked this one, spawn agent message. We listen to it here. But I forgot to listen on it. No, I didn't. And we do this as well. I would love to have it. let's do... what is it? Action handler. There we go. List is empty. Oh, yeah, why are we not finding this one? Action handler. Yes, because we're searching for component, and action handler is not a component anymore. That explains it. So, wonder if that was a mistake. And currently, it's our entities that does it. Okay. Yeah, that might very well have been a mistake. Or one sec, could it be? No. Okay, so how do I want to approach this? An easy way to do it would be... Still wondering if making this non-mono behavior was a bad call. But I'm not gonna make it back into mono behavior now. I need to step back and go through it properly. But I'm pretty sure it's the entity that has the control of the action handlers. And we could do... could make Fuck, this was a bad call, I think. Okay, we're gonna do a quick fix now, but I want to... inherit. But yes, yeah, that sucks. But for now, we can do... For now, we can do... We can do a little bit of a hack, which is gonna be like the two options I have as I see it is two options as I see them are either make it mono behavior again or make agent handle all of the agent systems directly, which it probably will, honestly. Skaver, do you think morphing meshes is possible with some kind of compute shader? Oh yeah, but it sounds like you're explaining, like, when I read it, Skaver, the first things that comes to mind is blend shapes. The problem you have with blend shapes is like the two different states need to have the exact same amount of vertices and some other data. But if we have two completely separate meshes and you want to blend them, like, I guess everything is possible. The road there, however, can be more or less complicated. My initial thought was to do it with some sort of compute shader. So you pretty much have a compute shader which has access to two different meshes, the data of two different meshes, and on that one pass it pretty much calculates a new mesh from these two, and then later on that's the mesh you render with traditional shaders. Does that make sense? Of course, you can do it without compute shaders as well. As to metaballs, I've never worked with them, but I know that Derek, that watches a lot of my streams over on YouTube, shout out, he has worked a lot with metaballs and rendering them and stuff like that. But honestly, like, I can't speak about it yet. Ask me again in like half a year, maybe. Okay, this is gonna become ugly here, but we want a quick fix right now. We pretty much just want to find the action handler and apply it instantly. But then again, I think this is... Okay, we're gonna do this. Just do and range. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. So in agent notification bubble, we try to get the renderer, but we don't have that here. So of course we're gonna do... We're just making it uglier and uglier, I would say. Agent. But this is gonna be our controlling, I think. Get render bound. Yeah, action handler should probably be mono behavior, and getting the bounds, I think we're gonna get them from body later on. We will see. Okay, now we're back. I don't know what portal occlusion culling is. I think it has like object culling. Okay, so now we are back. We have the same notification system, but now we have a little bit of an underlying, or better, underlying system. Although this is currently a mess. But shit happens. Escape routes: when you have a door, window, hole, a portal from which you can see stuff, but other stuff that you don't see doesn't get rendered. I don't know. I've never been down that road, but I do know that like the occlusion system in Unity is pretty damn good. Okay, let's see here. Attribute handler. I'm wondering what the next step should be, or if I should make action handler into a damn mono behavior. Yo, what's up, Cooler SK? Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Or hope it's somewhat enjoyable. Escape route can be used indoors. Oh, yeah. I would, like, I think we have talked about this previously, but yeah, that would be my go-to example for what sounds like this. Because I saw some great video. Unfortunately, again, can't give credit because I don't remember it, but it was someone that spoke about the Source engine and their problem with making more open world-ish environments because of the portal system then, I suppose. Value change. Whoa, one sec. What the fuck am I doing here? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna copy that link, Scafer, and store it for later. Okay, value change is great. We can work with that. But so I guess this was implemented like this because we want to probably is attribute instance. What do we have? Value change invoke. But we get an event, but we don't really know. But maybe it's not too bad. I think we can skip this because we're probably gonna have all of these are probably gonna be oh, this is bad. Okay, let's do wondering if it's a little bit over the top, but okay. The Godot is just a frustum, or the Godot frustum is just an array of planes, and I will need to wrap my head around how it works. Oh yeah. Do you know if anybody else has a similar problem that works with Godot, or have you found anyone else that has the similar problem? I'm wondering if okay, the problem here is I would like to have, so let's say that we have an attribute energy, which we should have. We're going to take a look at it. I want to add like basically we want to have oops, attribute guess we would like to have an attribute observer. Attribute function. Scheduler action. What am I looking for? I'm looking for functions. Yeah, we have action triggers. Then we have, where do we have it? Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering where I want to define this. So we can basically define with the current attribute system, we can define an event. I want information. Yo, what's up, Ling Ling? Skafer, I've searched around, but I haven't seen anybody doing anything serious in Godot. There exists a few I've seen. Okay, I get it. I'm good, Ling Ling. I'm good. How about you? Okay, the question is, I don't want to overload this shit, but we have an attribute handler which handles a lot of attributes. We have functions and stuff to be able to modify those attributes. But then I also want to add maybe we can do a simple What do we have? Attribute definitions. Definition. Display string unit bounds. So let's see, I think I want something like this. Let's take a look at this. Would I like to define, and maybe we could define something like this as well. So we define, if we do public float, let's take a look at attribute unit first. Time, mass, length, area, volume. I probably want to do like this. Have public load small delta, medium delta, large delta, maybe. How's the ray tracing, ambient occlusion, anti-aliasing going? It's going great. Yeah, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Just had an oral defense of code I never got to run. Ooh. But it was a great oral defense, so we're good. Nice to hear, nice to hear. Yeah, I mean, Skafer, it sounds good from what I'm hearing. Like, you know, like, a portal system for occlusion sounds very good overall. It just sucks that it doesn't exist out of the box. And isn't too easy to add, you know? Yeah, maybe a little bit more percent should be spent on doing the actual task then. But yeah. Because I wonder if I want to do something like this. Check this out. Attribute handler. Attribute user. We get the attribute users. And then we have attributes. Okay. I think what I want to do is something like this. Okay, so I want to do for all the attributes we have here, when we have a change in the attribute, so let's say that we have energy, which is an attribute, every time that one we have a delta change in it, for instance, then I want to spawn a notification, and I want that should be an agent notification, you know, because if a creature goes from, I mean, it's going to be happy and jumping around at 100% energy, but it's going to be slow at 20% energy. It feels like we are gonna have to implement a new... we can try it. We can see if it works. So we're gonna make attribute handler. It's gonna add, if we're below half of our attribute, we're gonna spawn an event. Bounds, attribute definition, attribute instance. We have bounds as well. Value change. Let's see. What's up, Pandan, by the way? I'm really new to game engine, but I found Unreal scared and Unity more to go. But I want to make a puzzle horror game like game. Do you think beginner is Unity easy to learn, but I want to make GFX realistic? I think Unity is quite easy to learn. I don't have that much experience with Unreal Engine, so I can't really compare them. But one good thing with Unity is that there exists so many resources online. So information is there to find. Okay, let's see if we can do something like this then. modifier trigger. So I'm wondering if we're gonna do this. Let's see here. I want to double check what kind of attributes we have for the player currently. So we have, yeah, we have energy that goes down. That's great. So let's do something like this. Attribute handler, add attribute, and here I want to change this one to if true, or let's do this. If not true, return false. Otherwise, I want to add a attribute function. Okay, actually no. Here I want to do oh, are we actually creating these? Maybe. I'm starting to get a feeling that yeah, that's attribute users. Add attribute function. Yes. I'm a little bit afraid that I fucked it up here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we set them up like this. That's a little bit unfortunate. But okay, we're gonna make some small additions, I would say. Because I want to be able to... Okay, attribute handler. Attribute handler. This one is also going to be an agent system. And I just want to add a quick... Oh yeah, this is AI if this is what you're referring to. Okay, so basically to start, I want to add a function. Let's see here, add attribute functions. I think we're gonna do... Let's do it here, add attribute. Let's add a... I want to add a attribute function action triggerer. But we need to set these. So invoke, attribute function action, setup. So attribute function, what I want here is public attribute function action. Okay, like this. And then we have attribute function action triggerer. That but we probably want to send in some more stuff here. We want to send in this one. Attribute instance we're gonna put first, and we want holy shit, that's a long one. Attribute instance, compare type, compare value, and attribute function action event. What I hate about this though Ling Ling. It's a complex system, man. But we're probably gonna do an iteration and clean it up. If we can get rid of that headache eventually. But let's say that we want to support an attribute system where we have like hundreds of different attributes, and the attributes should be affected by hundreds of different functions and methods. It's pretty much like it's gonna be a very simple life simulation eventually. Let's see, compare type, compare value. The problem is I would like for this one to... We need information about this attribute, and this trigger, it's not really built for it, if you know what I mean. So... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's keep this one. That's good. The thing is... I think... Yeah, just look at some of the complex Java libraries, and that's like the naming I'm looking for. If eventually you don't have a system where you have like to take up 2 lines just to get the class name, then you're doing something wrong. Okay, the problem as I see it here is that this current system, or these classes, are built for modifying, right? So what we have currently is a set of classes that modifies attributes based on events and stuff like that, time or whatever. But I also want to have some type of attribute observer, if you know what I mean. So the question is, can we use our building blocks we have, or are we going to have to add an additional one? Because if we take a look at this one, if an attribute value changes, it checks if it's currently under the trigger, you know? So, okay, the value changed. Is it equal to this if it is invoke this action? The problem being, oh, you know what? We can probably build with this one, but it's not gonna look that great. Okay, let's see if we can get something working with these classes, and then we will move from there, right? I think the abstraction, or the main goal of some of these abstractions, are to make it more generic, you know. Or more reusable. Like for instance, if you just have an attribute that is life, you can implement life logic in one class. But hey, then we're introducing another attribute where we want to have some of the similar functionality as life, but not all of it. So then you can implement a totally separate class, but it's going to be a lot of duplicated code. But it will cut it. It will be readable, but then you add a third attribute that is going to have half of the new attribute functionality and half of the life attribute functionality. And on and on and on it goes. So you add a little bit of abstraction, add reusability. Now maybe you have one class to represent these attributes. And with some additional functionality you can add, and so on and so on. So we could actually solve this right now by doing this. Let's see here. In attribute handler we do didn't I have, maybe not, attribute actually, before we do this, let's add agent system and then we add this one we want to add here. And then private void okay, Ling Ling, yep, you could probably go about it a wide, like you can go about it in different ways, but like in my design document I go into depth how the attribute system should work in the game, not implement, mind you, and like it's complex because you have, okay, just think about the fact that like you have an attribute energy, for instance, and you have an attribute speed. The attribute speed should be affected by energy. If we have low energy, the speed should become smaller, right? And that's just one of a lot of similar interactions you're going to see between attributes. You also have consumables that have different taste values, and the taste values are going to change based on an attribute called age, for instance. And then you're going to have a lot of, like, since we're going to run with a lot of agents that behave based on these attributes, you're going to have a lot of functionality, varying functionality, might you, between the agent that are based on these attributes. So you're probably going to see a chain of events, like the energy of an agent becomes lower, which means that this agent is going to trigger this is going to trigger an event for this agent that it wants to find some way to gain more energy, right? So is the energy decrease based on mood, or is it based on hunger or hydration? So we need to speak between those, and that's going to prompt an event like search for whatever the cause of it was. So let's say food, for instance. So then we need to find something that it can eat. But this agent is going to have a preference in food. There's going to be some food it likes and some that it hates. So we're going to have to check on that. Some agents or monsters are going to be a little bit more stupid, so we have attributes for that as well, and that affects if they are going to eat food that is spoiled or not. And you see, like, there's a very, very big system here. It's going to be a lot of attributes working together, and we want to, like, affect these attributes differently and read them differently, and so on and so on. There's a lot of dependency. Like, I'm not saying that my current implementation here is top of the line or perfect for what it's gonna be, but we we prepare ourselves with implementing it like this by the complexity ahead, you know. Schaefer, that is temporary, I assure you. Okay, spawn agent message. Here you have another magic number. Okay, great. And then we do, so attribute function action trigger. Let's see here, new attribute. I don't care about value change. Nested enum, maybe. Dot. Less. And then I want this for testing purposes, so we're gonna set let's go with 90. Yes, like I don't want to throw an exception when we try to add an attribute in this case, and it fails. Okay, and for now we're gonna do something like, is it like this? And spawn attribute new message. I guess it's like this. Are we gonna have to do... something like this, I thought. Or do we need to do this? New attribute. What the fuck is it? I thought. Oh, one sec. Yeah, I'm failing. We want to do... we want to pack an anonymous function here. I was pretty sure we would get away with this. Oh, attribute function action trigger. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to implement... Lily, how much input validation do you use in your game? We let the Unity libraries handle all type of input validation. So we don't think about it at all, pretty much. If you give me a specific example, more like when you say input validation in the context of this game, what exactly do you mean? If you have an example, I can answer more, but... Okay, I think what we're gonna do is... don't want to use a Unity event here. I want an action. Okay. Oh, you mean input validation to my attributes? Every time we call one of these functions, it should be called for. I'm still wondering. Let's see. I might have been a little bit too optimistic when I thought we could use these for the message sender. Attribute handler. Attribute function. Action modifier. Yeah, I don't want this invoke. Okay, we should send in an event like this. So I think what we need to do is trigger... I would love for this one to just be an action. Sometimes. That could be one way to go. We're allowing for both, you know. We could do... and just package it in an action, but no. Okay, let's see here. We have an attribute instance that might have scheduler and actions working on it. And I want to add... Okay, actually, just for testing purposes, we're going to do this now. Attribute handler. We're going to wait with this one. And we're going to do on agent message. Instead here, we're going to do new attribute. There we go. But what I want to avoid here is the fact that we're gonna get a lot of these speech bubbles. Might not be too bad. But let's see. So when we add a new attribute to an attribute handler, we listen to the value change of that attribute. Are we gonna get too many spawns? Maybe. We'll see. And in our agent instance, we find the attribute handler here and we handle agent message. That should be okay. Okay. Okay, yes. We don't need this one anymore. How are build compile times for Unity? Most of the time pretty good, but sometimes too long. Oh yeah. Attribute handler on agent message new. There we go. Energy. Okay, that's good. The thing is, I definitely don't want all. It would be nice to only spawn big changes, you know? At work I have a project that takes 5 minutes to build. God damn. Is that what you get without abstractions? What more do we have? Yeah, I'm just joking around, and I do agree, sometimes it can be very hard to navigate. Okay, this is a great fuck, but I would love to, I want to add functionality for actually filtering through all of these new agent notifications. Or like, we don't want to spawn, if we spawn it for every value change, we're gonna have, you're not gonna be able to see anything but these type of messages. But like and that's why you should do stateless programming. Functional programming. Okay, I actually want to use this. Let's introduce our attribute system with our blobs. And then we can see let's see here if we can make it work. Like, we're gonna add a lot of dependency through code. But basically what I want to do now is we have our blob, which we procedurally generate, and we're gonna procedurally generate the components of it as well. Let's just take a quick look at exactly what type of components we get on it by default. Soft body, creature body definition, attribute handler. I want to add. Do we not have access to attribute instances here? But when I did some functional programming way back when, it was stateless. So let's see here. I want to add, let's see if we can make it appear first of all. Attribute handler. Do we have it here? We have attributes, which is a dictionary. That explains it. Ling Ling, once you enter IO territory, do you still consider it stateless? Be more specific when you define IO territory. If you just take an input and produce a result, you can definitely do that stateless. Like your whole program can be take a string, remove the spaces and return it, output it, and then exit. That's a stateless program. Even with IO territory. Okay, but I want to yeah, now we're down to, yeah, I guess that comes down to what you define or your definition of stateless. Okay, as always, I want to be able to view these attributes. We have a dictionary going here. We could reflect it. I want to avoid that as well. Yeah, it's a little bit similar to when people say or when people talk about like deterministic systems and stuff like that, or non-deterministic systems when it comes to computers, when everything is pretty much deterministic, right? So then it comes down to word definitions, and yeah. Okay, I guess it comes down to adding attributes. I'm not so sure I want this to have this one as a dictionary. Add, remove attributes. It's definitely easier with... Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to change this for the sole purpose of being able to serialize it and show it. So we're not going to do that. But I definitely want to be able to, or actually, I guess we can do it like this. What do we have? Attributes. Weight. Yeah, okay, we only have weight for the blobs. We are gonna add... We're gonna add the first real attribute dependency and really try the system we have implemented so far. So I want to jump to, first of all, I want to jump to move rigid body. And I want to change this one to 1. Action move rigid body. Oh, we need to clean this one up. But anyway, what I want to add here is one sec. Action handler. Yeah, we have a similar... We're gonna have a similar system here with attribute user. Attribute user. Yeah. Game object get component, so I attribute user. Yeah, I think the best thing we can do is to eventually make this back into a mono behavior, because it's going to be a attribute user, because our action move rigid body is gonna have, we're gonna define we're gonna define some attribute dependencies here. These are going to be attribute dependent. And also action move rigid body is going to affect attributes. So every time we jump, yeah, so that's pretty much what it comes down to with all actions. If we execute an action, it's going to affect attributes in some way. And if we and the action itself is going to need attribute information. So We can start by implementing a very simple energy drain by this, I would say. And the way I structured it initially is that the body definition body attributes, age, energy, saturation. And then we want to convert these as well. And this is some value chain. Okay. Don't we have attribute function? Yeah, and currently we have this one here. Okay, great. Okay, I think we can work with this attribute system. And I want to add... Okay, so that's what we're gonna do next week, because I need to run soon. But we are gonna add some building blocks here to this one. We're gonna add... We're gonna add the attribute handler here. We're gonna need to do some small reworks. And I'm wondering if it's finally time to rework the entity system a tiny bit. Or rather, move a lot of the logic in entity to body. Because the attribute handler itself Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a reshuffling here when it comes to the purpose and the functionality of these components. But I think we're on the right track. Unfortunately, I need to run now. But exciting times ahead. Like, I love to see when these different modules finally are working together, and hopefully it's just gonna be more and more from here on out. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. And have a great rest of the day. Peace.